Take a breath. You're here. This is the Her Perspective, a space for real conversation, honest reflection, and living in real time. I saw something that says you can do everything right and still feel wrong. And that really made me pause because after that shift I talked about in the last episode, I've been moving differently. Not in a loud way, but in the small decisions I make every day. Welcome to the Her Perspective, a podcast for people navigating life growth and becoming in real time. I'm your host, Victoria, and this season I'm choosing me for real this time. Not just in what I say, but how I live. And the biggest difference is this: I've been choosing what actually feels good to me, not what looks right, not what makes the most sense for everyone else, just what feels right for me. And I used to think that would be easy, but it's not always because for a long time I was used to moving based on what I should do, what made sense, what felt familiar, what didn't require too much explaining. And on the outside, it worked, but internally, it didn't always feel good. And that's a hard place to sit in because nothing looks wrong, but something definitely feels off. And once you become aware of that feeling, it's hard to ignore it. That's where I found myself. Not in a bad place, just in a place where I knew I wasn't fully aligned. So I started paying attention, not overanalyzing, just noticing what gives me energy, what drains me, what I agree to out of habit instead of intention. And from there, I started making small changes, not dramatic ones, not overnight shifts, just small decisions that felt more honest. Saying no without over explaining, taking my time before responding, not forcing conversation, not forcing connection. And I'm not going to lie, at first it felt unfamiliar because when you're used to being a certain version of yourself, choosing differently can feel uncomfortable. Not because it's wrong, but because it's new. And I definitely had to sit with that. I had to let myself move differently without rushing to make it make sense. And the more I leaned into that, the more I started to feel the difference. Not in a dramatic way, but in a steady, quiet way. I felt lighter, more present, less pressured to perform or explain. And that's when it clicked to me. This is what alignment feels like. Not perfect, not fully figured out, just right. And I think for a long time, I didn't stop to ask myself that. Does this actually feel good to me? Not what looks good, not what sounds good, but what feels right. That question has been changing how I move because now I pause before I commit. I check in with myself before I respond. And I don't automatically choose what feels familiar. I choose what aligns. Don't get me wrong, I'm still learning that. I'm not getting it right every time, but I'm more aware now. And that's made a difference because awareness gives you a choice to keep doing what you've always done or a choice to move differently. And right now, I'm choosing differently. I'm choosing what feels good, not in a careless way, but in an intentional way, a way that considers my peace, a way that respects my energy, a way that feels like me. And if I'm being honest, that's something I'm still getting used to, but I know I don't want to go back to choosing things that don't feel right just because they make sense on paper. So, if you've been feeling that too, like something in your life, it looks fine but doesn't feel the way you want it to, maybe you don't need to change everything. Maybe you just need to start paying attention to how you're choosing. Because sometimes the shift isn't in your whole life, it's in your decisions. Before we close, you are allowed to choose what feels right for you. Say this with me. I trust myself to make decisions that feel right for me. I release the need to choose based off of expectations. I give myself permission to move differently. I am building a life that feels good to me. Thank you for spending this moment with me. May your becoming stay honest, aligned, and led by what feels right to you for your heart and your life. See you soon.